mga kabombo kay nakabantay ta nga nagpagawas na ba o pamahayag ang kining Integrated Bar of the Philippines regarding pod mga kabombo ni ining hisgutan ng kurum ba sila mga kabombo dili. So isa sa mga kilalang mga abogado mga kabombo sa ating bansa ngayon si Attorney Reyes Del Rosario para sa kanyang legal advice regarding sa usaping ito. Attorney Reyes Del Rosario, sir, magandang gabi po sa inyo. Sige.
Okay, so, sorry, nakamute pa pala ako. But magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening po and mayang gabi po sa tanan naminaw di karon sa Butuan City, no. Taga Butuan sad ko, no, pero I think it will be better for the audience, Kevin, if magtatagalog tayo or
Yes
mag-English.
po. Sige. First and foremost, attorney, ito lang number one sa Integrated Bar of the Philippines na pahayag po kung ang ano po yung reaction nyo regarding sa ipinalabas ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines na kinakatigan yung ginawa ng grupo ni Senador Win Gatchalian po.
Okay, so we have to be very clear, no, na yung Integrated Bar of the Philippines, this is the largest. Actually, essentially, no, lahat ng mga abogado po ay member po ng IBP. But basically, what we're saying here is, hindi po palaging nagre-release ng statement ng IBP. They are very careful. Cautious po sila whenever they release statements. Actually, there were a lot of times na yung mga lawyers, kino-call out na si IBP na, oy, for a certain issue, maglabas ka na ng statement kasi apektado na yung legal profession, parang ganun. But this time, they chose to make a stand, no, regarding this issue, which means this is of paramount importance. And ako, I commend the IBP Board of Governors, yung mga officers ng IBP for releasing this statement. Because I think as lawyers, no, it is part of our obligation to give out information that are relevant and at the same time beneficial to the public, no. So yung statement ng IBP ay inline naman kung anong ating pinaniniwalaan. Again, I commend the officers and board of directors of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines.
Okay. For the record po, para din sa benefit ng ating mga tagapakinig, ano po ang pinaka laman nag-stand ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines po, Attorney Reyes Del Rosario, sir?
Okay, thank you, Bombo Kevin. So basically, ang sinabi ng IBP, very clear yon, that the application, kasi if you're going to watch yung nangyari noong June 6 sa Senate po, June 3 sa Senate, klaro po na sinabi ng Senate President Pro Tempore na si Win Gatchalian, sinabi niya doon that ang legal basis nila ay ang Avellino versus Cuenco. And this was reinforced by the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. And explain nila doon that Avellino versus Cuenco is applicable also in this case. Kasi very clear naman, may mga arguments kasi dito, Bombo Kevin, that Avellino daw is not applicable kasi nga this pertains to the 1935 Constitution. Diba? And we already have the 1987 Constitution right now. Pero sinabi ng IBP dito na very clear naman ang mensahe na binibigay ng Avellino versus Cuenco. Sinasabi nila doon that the Constitution wants to ensure that the Senate will continue functioning. No, na hindi pwede na kapag may mag-absent lang or may someone na who is unable to be available in the plenary session for purposes ng pag-count ng quorum or for attendance, hindi pwede na mapigilan niya ng function ng Senate, lalong-lalo na ang paggawa ng batas. So that's number one. Number two, sinabi dito ng IBP na in-applying Avellino versus Cuenco, no? Since ang isa sa mga senators right now is currently in detention. And alam po ito ng mga abogado na hindi po siya pwede mag-attend ng session kapag wala po itong permiso ng korte. So you cannot just compel him, no? Ang ginamit na term ng Avellino versus Cuenco, a senator who cannot be compelled by coercive processes. Ibig sabihin po nun, hindi po siya pwedeng, kasi nakalagay sa Senate rules ngayon, Bombo Kevin, ang isang senador na hindi mag-attend without proper justification, no, kapag kulang ang quorum, pwede siyang ipahuli sa Senate Sergeant at Arms.
Okay.
No? So ibig sabihin, kung hindi ka mapapahuli sa Senate Sergeant at Arms, ang sinasabi ni Avelino versus Cuenco, dapat hindi ka kasali sa counting ng quorum. No? So in this case, dalawa yung hindi sinali sa counting ng quorum. Number one is si Senator Jinggoy Estrada because nasa kulungan siya and hindi mo siya pwede basta hilahin kailangan mo pa ng permission ng court. Number two po ay si Senator Bato de la Rosa, no, na nagtatago ngayon. Syempre hindi mo siya pwedeng mahuli or ipahuli sa Senate Sergeant at Arms kasi hindi naman natin alam kung nasaan siya ngayon. So yun po. So in conclusion, ang sinabi po ng IBP dito na tama po, lawful and valid po and by quorum po during that particular session. At the same time po, yung mga processes or yung mga decision or yung mga acts na ginawa during that particular period should be considered lawful and valid and should be presumed as official acts of the Senate and therefore enjoys the presumption of regularity. So ibig sabihin lang po nito, sinasabi ng IBP na for now, presumed regular siya, no? Pero hindi sinasabi ng IBP dito with certainty na ano na talaga siya, na valid and lawful na yung ginawang pag-elect doon sa Senate President pro tempore. I think it's now subject to the interpretation of the court kung totoo ba talaga na valid and lawful ang pag-elect sa Senate President pro tempore and sa Senate Majority Leader.
So this means po, pwede siyang questioning sa Supreme Court? Ganyan po ba?
Well, ako definitely. If there is a question on the constitutionality and if there is a question on grave abuse of discretion, pwede po siya ma-question before the Supreme Court, no? Siguro may gray area because again, we have to remember, Kevin, that ang Supreme Court po, ang judiciary natin and our Congress, no, both the lower house and the upper house, ano po yan, co-equal branches of government po. So may question on the encroachment. Pero just as long as it can be proven that there was gross violation of the Constitution, number one, or there was grave abuse of discretion, then pwede po siyang ipaakyat sa Supreme Court.
Okay. Dito tayo sa nangyari sa hearing kanina po. Sa tingin niyo po, attorney, may legal authority ba ang Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee sa ginawa nilang hearing kanina po? Kasi may pagtatalo pa sa lehitimong Senate leadership and committee chairperson.
Yeah, that's a good question, Bombo Kevin. No? I personally believe na wala nang authority si Senator Pia Cayetano to head or to chair that particular committee because as I've mentioned earlier, yung mga acts po na ginawa ng the new majority during the June 3, 2026 na session, ang mga acts po na ginawa nila are presumed to be regular, presumed to be lawful, and presumed to be constitutional and presumed to be valid. So may presumption na ganun. So right now, as it stands, tama po yung ginawa ng new majority. Meron po tayong bagong Senate leadership at meron po tayong bagong chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee. So hindi na po dapat gumawa or nag-conduct ng committee hearing si Senator Pia Cayetano as the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee. No, actually questionably din nga yung ginawa nila na subcommittee. Di ba gumawa sila ng subcommittee na headed naman by Senator Rodante Marcoleta, no, na siya ang basically preside over the flood control anomaly na investigation, no. So there's also a question on that, no. So I am of the opinion that the committee, quote unquote committee hearing that happened today was not valid because hindi na si Senator Pia Cayetano ang chairperson nun. So question is with the new composition of the majority, same pa rin ba ang magiging composition ng Blue Ribbon Committee? Because you have to understand and you have to remember na ang composition ng Blue Ribbon Committee under Alan Peter Cayetano ay composed of majority, wala pong minority. No, ngayon na nag-shift na po ng new majority, let's see where this goes. Pero for now, I am of the opinion na wala po talagang nangyaring committee hearing kanina.
Okay. Kung tinawag na unauthorized ng acting Senate leadership yan, maaari bang maituturing na void o walang legal effect nga yung lahat ng testimonya o ebidensyang nakuha kanina, and paano yun? Wala namang Senate Secretary kanina, wala namang mga ano yung stenographers.
Nagbi-minutes, wala.
Stenographers natin, they are not present kanina.
Yeah. So basically, ang question dito, how will hindi naman pwede na yung mga vlogs or yung mga videos ang magsasabi na this is now part of the official records of the Senate, no? Meron pong mga nakatoka, meron pong mga naka-assign po na mga tao who will do the minutes. Tama ka, you have stenographers,
Yeah.
you also have the committee secretary na magse-certify na ito talaga yung minutes, ito talaga yung napag-usapan. And without that, basically, the entire, to be honest, if I'm being honest, the entire quote-unquote committee hearing that happened earlier was a waste of time and resources of Congress. I don't know if you know, pero whenever po nagkakasession ng Congress, no, estimated lang naman ito, gumagastos po ang Senado ng at least 25 million daw in terms of yung binabayan sa kuryente, etc., mga binabayad sa personnel, etc. So I think no that the committee hearing that happened earlier was a complete waste of time and resources.
Okay. Ano pong legal implications ng pag-administer ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano ng panunumpa ng mga resource person sa halip na Senate Secretariat or authorized committee officer sana?
Well, that's also a gray area there, Bombo Kevin. Okay. Kasi basically, yun nga, tama ka dapat ang secretariat ang nag-administer. Well, basically, it's the presiding chair na dapat mag-administer. Pero yun nga, ang question, meron pa bang authority sila? No? In the first place kasi, ang tatanungin mo, valid ba ang nangyari na committee hearing? No? So kung sinabi mo na hindi valid, then basically hindi vested yung whatever body that was na nag-conduct nung investigation na yon na kumausap sa 18 Marine, kung invalid po siya, then basically anything that they did during that particular na investigation ay hindi rin po valid. So that includes yung oath na in-administer. No? But anyway, yung mga affidavit naman na sinubmit, these are notarized, Bombo Kevin. So, even if sabihin nila na, since hindi naman pala valid yung ginawang testimony kanina, hindi sila pwede perjury, di ba? Pero hindi po, yung affidavit po na sinubmit ng 18 Marines, notarized po ito. So, it's still under the presumption that it was accurate and truthful. And if it's not accurate and truthful, then basically pwede po silang masubject to a case of perjury.
Okay. Attorney, may kapangyarihan ba yung Malacanang na pumili kung aling Senate leadership lamang ang kikilalanin o ito ba ay isang eksklusibong usapin in the Senate itself bilang hiwalay na sangay ng ating gobyerno?
Yeah, the Constitution is very clear that the Senate will select its own leadership. No, sila ang pipili po ng kanilang sariling opisyal sa loob ng Senate. And yun nga, gaya nga nang na-mention natin earlier, that would risk kung sasabihin ni executive na ito dapat dapat ang maging Senate President. That's an encroachment. Pero I think yung statement naman kasi na ni-release ni Malacanang, it was more of ang i-acknowledge namin in terms of parang transactions, di ba? Kung bakit ipag-transact ang Senate sa amin, sa aming pananaw, or sa aming, ang i-recognize namin na Senate President or the leader of the upper house will be Senator Win Gatchalian. No, yun naman yung sinasabi dito ng Malacanang. They're not really saying na, dapat si Win Gatchalian ang maging Senate President. What they're saying is, if makikipag-transact sa kanila yung Senate or for any agreements between the Senate and the executive or for any transactions that they have between each other, ang i-acknowledge nila as signatory siguro for the leadership of the Senate will be Senator Win Gatchalian.
Okay. Attorney, kung what if lang kung may mga senador o kanila mga tauhan na total notarized naman yung mga testimonya nila, no? Ngunit walang direktang ebidensya laban sa kanila. Ano po ang saklaw ng, sabi natin, constitutional rights, right to due process at presumption of innocence dyan, attorney?
For those who are implicated doon sa affidavit?
Yes po. And
okay. And the 18 Marines.
Example, senator, kung may senator, yung mga senador.
Okay, sige. Very clear naman po no na under the constitution din, it's only the Senate that can discipline its members, no. So in terms of removal from the Senate, only the Senate can decide whether or not to remove a member, no. Unless merong action or criminal action sa court, no. Let us remember na ito pong nangyaring investigation in aid of legislation po ito.
Oh.
So ibig sabihin kung ginawa po siya sa Senado or ginawa po siya sa lower house, it will not be construed or it will not have the weight of a criminal case. Magkaiba po 'yon. Not unless gamitin po yung investigation na 'yon as an evidence before our courts. No, or yung affidavit gamitin po siya as an evidence before our courts as part of the testimony of the witnesses. No, but for now, wala talagang ganong implication na mako-convict or matatanggal sa position ang senators not unless meron na talagang final si ombudsman, no. For example, for plunder or for graft or malversation of funds or whatever case, no, related to corruption. Pero at the end of the day, I think what's important here, Bombo Kevin, is nag-uusap ang mga tao, no. The people are now discerning. For example, kanina sa 18 Marines, marami ng mga opinions na nagsisilabasan whether or not valid daw ba yon, whether or not may credibility ba daw ang 18 Marines, whether or not inconsistent or consistent ba ang statements ng 18 Marines, which is important, no. It's important to start these conversations kasi at the end of the day, ang pinaka-importante po talaga na judge dito ay ang taong bayan, no. Pinaka-importante nag-iimbestiga dito ay ang taong bayan, because if makita po natin the senators, for example, even the senators or the officials implicated by any person katulad ng mga 18 Marines or sila Yusek Cabral when she was still alive, or yung mga Diskaya or nung nila Bryce Hernandez, whoever, no, it is now up for the people to decide, no. Let's use our critical thinking in determining kung sino talaga sa tingin natin ang nagnakaw sa taong bayan. And in that determination, sana naman sound yung determination natin at hindi biased. And in that determination, malalaman din natin kung sino yung mga iboboto natin sa 2028.
Okay. Pero kanina talaga, kung sa inaabangan ko, I'm expecting na aabot sila hanggang ngayong gabi. Kasi nga, I'm expecting na ilalabas lahat ng mga ebidensya sa posibilidad na hindi makakabalik yung Cayetano, Senadora Pia Cayetano sa itong pagiging chairman niya dahil na rin sa mga issues na lumalabas sa ngayon. So nakikita ko kanina half-baked ba yung kanilang mga pahayag, may mga hearsay pa against the president kay sinasabi na narinig lang daw nung isa sa mga 18 Marines po.
Well, if we're going to talk about the credibility of the 18 Marines already, Bombo Kevin, ang dami kasing inconsistencies doon sa kanilang mga naging pahayag doon sa affidavit, no. Number one, na-mention doon si Representative Terry Ridon, na-mention doon si Senator Tito Soto, na-mention doon si Representative Laila De Lima.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that these people were only elected noong 2025 midterm elections. No, in fact, umamin yung yung mga Marines umamin si Attorney Levy Baligod. Ang sinabi niya na nagkamali kami, it was a lapse on our end to include Representative Laila De Lima. Kasi nga during that time na sinasabi nila na nakatanggap si Laila De Lima, nasa loob siya ng kulungan. How can she receive yung maleta if nasa kulungan siya? That's number one. Number two, why would you give her money? Hindi naman she's not holding any position anymore during that time. Hindi siya congresswoman. So nag-apologize sila kay Laila De Lima. So that is already the biggest red flag. Sinasabi nila na may mali sa affidavit nila. Pangalawa po, si Rep. Terry Ridon and si Senator Tito Soto, they were not officials yet. No, you have to remember na kapag ikaw ay na-elect, kung na-elect ka noong May 2025 midterm elections, ang effectivity or ang start ng term mo is June 30, 2026. Right? Tapos timeline tayo, kailan ba nawala si Zaldico sa Pilipinas? July 2025. So,
Oh.
June 30, 2025 pala. Tapos July 2025 nawala si Zaldico, hindi na siya pumapasok, di ba? Umalis siya ng bansa July 2025. So with that few days, mamimigay talaga ng maleta, and for what? Di ba? So questionable na 'yon. That in itself is already questionable. And sabi nga, 'di ba, favorite line to dati ng mga mga Duterte supporters, falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. Ibig sabihin, if there is a false portion of a particular affidavit, questionable na talaga ang buong affidavit. 'Di ba? Number two inconsistency also is the fact na during the committee, quote-unquote, committee hearing, hindi po nila binasa yung mga portions that mention yung mga kaalyado nilang senator, si Senator Loren Legarda and Senator Mark Villar. So that wasn't included, no? Number 3 po, sinali din po nila doon si Father Flavi, si former Senator Trillanes, and the ICC. Sinasabi nila nakatanggap daw ng maletang ICC. Parang gusto nilang tanggalan ng credibility ng ICC by saying na nababayaran ito. But how convenient how convenient to say that, no, na parang and I don't think the ICC will appreciate that. Baka nga makaapekto pa ito ulit sa kaso ni President Ticong. So there are a lot of inconsistencies in the statement, no. So if titingnan mo talaga na maayos, questionable itong statement ng mga Marines.
Okay. Sa June 8, although Senator Erwin Tulfo, sabi niya lahat ng mga senators magiging member ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Sa tingin niyo po ba ay mag-a-attend ang Cayetano Group po?
Okay. So, kung hindi sila mag-a-attend, magkakaroon kasi ng cross-examination, no? So basically, I think a-attend sila because they have to be there to support yung 18 Marines, no? Because if nakikita mo kanina, kahit ngayon pa lang, parang grabe na yung suporta nila Senator Marcoleta sa 18 Marines, no? To the point na yung mga question ay leading na. When you say leading questions, dinadala na nila kung anong gustong naratibo nila, no? So kung yung tanong dumidiretso na doon sa kumbaga kung anong gusto nilang marinig. So I think they will attend in order to support yung 18 Marines, kasi if there are questions na hindi nila masagot, then baka magbabat in na naman ulit sila Senator Marcoleta. Kagaya ng ginawa nila kay Diskaya. If you remember yung argument between Senator Marcoleta and Senator Ping Lacson, sinabi ni Senator Ping Lacson, bakit mo ba pinoprotektahan yung mga Diskayas? So baka ganito din yung mangyari dito for 18 Marines if ever ma-invite man sila ulit sa next Blue Ribbon Committee na hearing.
Sa katapusan, masinalang ko wala na pangutana sa imo, Attorney Reyes Del Rosario. Attorney, nga gusto na mo ipaabot sa mga viewers, listeners sa Bombo Radio, even sa mga followers nyo po.
Okay, so basically, simple lang naman, no? So sinabi ko na rin naman to in one of the videos, especially sa mga Bisaya, no? I think it is now crucial, no? Nakalimutan muna natin yung kulay. If you're DDS, if you're kakamping, if you're loyalista, kalimutan muna natin yun. I think it's now crucial na maging Pilipino muna tayo ngayon, no? Because at the end of the day, no, kapag pinairal natin yung ating mga kulay, then then basically we are also allowing, no, the abuses of these officials to happen, no? Tingnan po natin, lalo na that the impeachment of VP Sara is coming. Tingnan po natin objectively kung meron talagang ebidensya, then papanagutin siya. Pero kung hindi naman sufficient ang evidence, then hindi siya papanagutin. And also, tingnan po natin yung mga actions ng senators natin, because this will actually tell us kung sino talaga yung mga senators or sino yung mga officials na para sa bayan or para sa sariling interest lang. So thank you Bombo Kevin, and thank you for the invitation ulit.
Salamat nyo kayo, Attorney Reyes Del Rosario, sa panahon o paghataw legal na advice alang sa ato mga viewers, listeners karon sa Bombo Radio. Again, salamat. Maayong gabi, Attorney.
Maayong gabi po. Thank you.
Si Attorney